What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for part 2 of the Costume Chamber Summon Portal. And we're going to have a look at the 4-star heroes now. So we've had a look at the toons this morning. Not too impressed by them. They just seem like reworks, maybe just more powerful versions of the original hero. And we've got these 4 stars to have a look at. Now, they've been making us wait for a long time for these heroes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brand new costumes for the 4 stars. So they better be good. They better be bloody good. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go through these quite quickly. So let's start with Scarlet. All right, so Scarlet has been given some kind of weird looking dress, and that is what she's gone with. So, okay, we know Scarlet. Scarlet was a really, really good hero originally, because she was one of the few heroes that would give the attack down. She gave it for a long period of time. She's running at fast speed, so she's got a lot going for her, and she's of rogue class in the original costume. So in terms of what we've got here now, she is a sorcerer now, which interestingly gives her the superior delay, which is a 60% chance to drop mana generation by 50% for 2 turns after dealing damage. A very good effect if you're going to pop her on a defensive team. So that is a good bonus that she gets in the secondary costume. Now, I wish... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I can just switch between these. Now, this is the 3rd costume for her. So in the original version, it was attack down for 6 turns and 215 damage to the target and minor to nearby. In this costume, it's 185 damage to the target and minor to nearby. But they get some poison damage as well. And they get an increased attack. It wasn't a great costume, to be honest. So this new costume, she is going to benefit from the family bonus as well, where they get increased attack, defense, and healing when they're paired with classic heroes. And she benefits from this costume bonus. So we've got big attack, defense, and health bonuses, 15, 15, and 20% respectively, and 5% on the mana bonus. So good stat increase. You know, obviously it's worth leveling the hero just for the stat increases. Now, in terms of what the actual stats look like, I never really like to look at these with the max power preview off, because we generally, I mean, speaking for myself, I like to look at whether I'm going to be able to use these heroes alongside heroes in attacking teams against the 5-star heroes that we have. So with the max power preview, pretty respectable stats, 1147 on the attack, 834, so a bit squishy on the defense, and 1803 on the health, and she benefits from the special boost ether talent. Now, it's worth mentioning that these ether talents do change depending on the costume, so you can use multiple heroes and benefit from multiple different ether talents if you level up the different versions of the costume. Now, her special skill is called Blades on the Dance Floor. Really cool. It was Blade Barrage and it was Blades of Venom. Now it's Blades on the Dance Floor. I do like that. And she's going to deal 235% damage to the target and minor damage to nearby enemies at fast speed. So this is the highest amount of damage we've seen from Scarlet. So that's a good start. The target and nearby enemies get negative 31% attack and a further 4% decrease every time they're hit during 4 turns. So it's a bulwark effect with the negative attack, which is, yes, better than the original. And yes, it's better than the costume, the first costume, but it's still, unfortunately, I don't think going to be that impactful. Maybe at the 4-star level, you could sort of throw her in on a defense team, especially in tournaments where there's no green allowed. Or no blue, allowed against fire. But, you know, further on than that, I just don't think she's doing enough to warrant her being a great hero. So unfortunately, not the best costume, but probably worth leveling for the stat bonus and if you like using Scarlet. Now, the second of the 4 stars that we have in this portal, let's just scroll back through here, waste a little bit of time. Sorry, guys. So, where are they? Geez, there's a lot of heroes, man. Okay, so we've got to go through literally every single hero to get to the ones that we want. I promise I won't do this for the next one. So, Tibertus, let's have a look at you, mate. Okay. So in terms of the family bonus and stat bonus, costume bonus, they're all the same. Now, somebody else pointed out this cleric bonus is actually a really, really good one. The superior mana shield is a 60% chance to reflect negative mana status effects and effects that prevent the use of special skills. That is a really, really useful effect. Being able to reflect negative effects back to the enemy team just with your passive. So that is a really good effect. Now, in terms of costume bonus, he gets the same bonus. He's looking just weird, like he's gone for a warm coat and dyed his hair again. Oh my goodness, this is not going well, is it? Let's get back to him. Sorry, guys. Okay, so in terms of stats, pretty good actually. I do like the fact that he's a bit more defensively built, helps him to hang a bit better with the big boys. Nice high defense and HP on this one. And his special skill is now the Elegant Pulverizer. So we had the Ramming Pulverizer, which sounds horrible, deals 295 to the target and minor to nearby, and gives negative 34 defense for 6 turns. Now, that is a really good special skill. If you don't have a defense down against Dark, he will work in a pinch against Titans, and that 6 turns is a really long time. So he'll now deal 295% damage to the target, minor damage to nearby. So same as the original. He reduces the max health of the target and nearby by 600 over 4 turns. Not a huge fan of the fact that it goes over turns because it can be cleansed. And as we know, the effect is stronger against boosted health, so it reduces by an additional 150 per turn. It's a pretty good special, although it doesn't really give you a status effect per se. I mean, the health boost down is an effect in and of itself. But if you take a health booster against him, you can counter that. And the fact that it's running over 4 turns means it can get cleansed as well. So really not a costume that I would level except for the stat bonus for Tibertus, unfortunately. Now, let's look at who's next. Really, I don't have much more to say about him. To be honest, he's not that great. Little John. All right, so Little John has actually got a really good costume, and his original was 185 damage to all, but he's got a really high attack stat for a 4-star, so that was very impactful. I don't think quite as much in today's meta, but initially it was very impactful. And then the negative 64% mana generation for 3 turns is just crippling. I know it's only for 3 turns, but really, really good. Now this one was a costume that I actually really liked, but never got the chance to use just because I didn't bother leveling it up. But he deals the same amount of damage to all enemies, so 185%. But the caster and nearby allies have from 30% to 70% chance to dodge special skills that deal damage. Now that is probably one of the highest chances to dodge of any hero in the game, and it is only to the target and nearby. But the fact that the higher the damage from the special skill is, the higher the chance there is to dodge that. He's the only hero with that mechanic. So yeah, I think that he's probably underused. And I would say that he would want to fit in like a tank position in your tournaments and things like that. Especially in the rush format, he could be extremely good as a tank because he gets the special armor ether talent as well, which definitely will help him. And his stats are pretty decent as well. Now, the dodge also gives plus 24% mana to the target. That's not mana generation. That's just a whack of extra mana. which is really cool, and the effect lasts for 4 turns. So I think with this new introduction of this tertiary costume for him, he could potentially be a pretty damn good hero. So don't sleep on this first costume for Little John. Now, his new costume, we are looking at, again, very similar stats, quite a low defense. In fact, I do prefer the stats on this costume rather than the newest one. And he's now he's now somehow traded in the axe for a club, which is just weird. I can't see how that's going to do more damage, but okay. He now deals 185% damage to all enemies, so exactly the same amount of damage, and all allies get plus 33% mana generation for 3 turns. Not a good special. And the talent is okay because it gives him survivability with that superior companion, because they're pretty beefy, but he is running at slow speed, and I wouldn't use that. I just wouldn't use that. I think that this version of Little John is the best that there has been and probably will ever be, but I would go ahead and level up all 3 just to get the benefit of this costume with those stats. So yeah, actually a pretty damn good hero if you know where to use him, and I think that he will be used quite a lot. I think we're going to see him in the 4-star tournaments if anybody has any brains. Now, Melendor. Look at this guy. He has just gone full disco raver. I love this costume. Honestly, I think it is absolutely brilliant. Again, same family bonus, same costume bonus. He gets the talent for the superior delay, which is a really good talent, actually, especially if you're going to pop him on a defensive team. And Dispel is an extremely good skill to have on your defensive team. If you don't have a Dispeller on your defense team, pop one on there. Whether it's in the left flank or the left wing, it makes a huge difference in your raids. You'll see it almost straight away. Having a Dispeller is really, really a must. Now, just a little tidbit there. Now, he has, in his original version, I've got loads of mileage out of this guy. He recovers a massive amount of health and dispels buffs from all enemies. Initially leveled up this costume right away because I thought it was going to be incredible, but I do find that I like the upfront heal more than the fact that he does give an additional defense buff in this costume. It's a big defense buff, so an additional 46% defense, but the regeneration of health versus the big upfront heal, I do find I'm using this version a lot more in tournaments and in raids and things like that. Plus he gets the superior companion, which is just going to beef him up and make him that much more difficult to kill. Now, the new special we have is the Fog of the Smoke Machine. Of course it is. It's such a cool name for a special. Now, he does give the regeneration, so all allies regenerate 609 HP over 3 turns, but he gives all allies plus 50% attack for 3 turns. That is a really high attack boost for the entire team. There's no chance to miss. There's nothing like that. And I found that I've pulled him this morning and leveled him all the way up. And just using him in the tournament that we're currently running in the Bloody Battle, for the fact that he dispels, the healing really doesn't matter. But that attack boost, I've been using him alongside Ulma and Costume 2 Cademan. I find that attack boost really just makes them hit that much harder, which is exactly what you want. So I do really like this because you've got the option, you can increase defense, or you've got the option to increase attack, or you've got the option just for a big upfront heal and a really survivable hero. So yeah, an extremely, extremely good hero. If you do grab this version of Melendor, I'd go ahead and level him right away. No questions asked. We've already done Tiburtus. Now on to Chao with his little tiger on his shoulder. I mean, he's had a dodo and an eagle. This guy's just a weirdo, honestly. I've never really liked this guy. I mean, you know, in theory, reducing the mana of the target, yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's only to a single target. And then also this one is to a single target, stealing the generated mana of the target. So yeah, he's suffered a lot from the fact that he just hits a single target. I think is Chao's downfall. But look at what we've got. So he is running at fast speed, bear that in mind. At fast speed, his new special is called the Cub Leader Cut. Okay. And he deals 275% to the target and nearby enemies. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that is decent. All right. The target and nearby enemies get negative 24% mana generation for 3 turns. Okay, he's not quite as impactful as Li Ju, where she gives the target and nearby enemies a silence for 3 turns, but he reduces the mana generation, and remember, he's running at fast speed and he gets the same amount of damage. So as a damage dealer, I don't think you can do much better than this guy. I would probably want him to pair him alongside somebody like, what's that guy's name? Ribbit, that's how you ribbit. What the fuck is it? Bogart. Yeah, that guy. I know he's running at average speed, but I can see using him and then Chao. Even if you level up Mist, because she gives defense down against special skills, she's also running at fast speed, and then use Chao for the follow-up hit, you're going to be doing some serious damage with this guy now, which is excellent. And he benefits from the attack up ether power, so it's probably going to be worth second limit breaking this guy as well. I can see definitely some usability for him. Slight pity about the second part of his special, the fact that it's just the mana generation. I would have loved it if we could have combined these two. So stealing generated mana combined with the hit 3, that would be perfect for Chao. That would sort of rejuvenate this guy to where he's always wanted to be since the start of this game. But unfortunately, we don't have that, but we've got the next best thing, which is a hit 3, finally, for him. So that's all I've got to say about Chao. Pretty good hero. Now, dude, WuKong has got a costume, and yeah, he's actually got one of the most sort of impactful specials in the game. But he is handicapped massively by that chance to miss. But that increase of 185% attack, coupled with the fact that he is at the 4-star level, so he's readily obtainable, and he's got that that monk class where he gets the superior withstand, so a 50% chance to resist negative status effects. He is a hero that I use still quite a lot in Titans. And sometimes if I just want to, have fun, where I'm trying to get like a 4-star team to kill some of these meta 5-star heroes, and you don't really care too much about the miss chance. It's all about that massive attack increase. So yeah, I do kind of like this hero in case you haven't got that already. But yeah, 185% attack with 32% less accuracy for 5 turns. So 5 turns is a long time as well. Now, he had a costume, the first costume, where he dealt 210 damage to all enemies. I feel like that was higher, but it was the highest damage that you could deal to a whole team and average speed at the 4-star level. But then he gets the negative defense, so it's never been that impactful. Now, this new costume, which I probably talked up a bit too much, all allies get plus 170% attack, so slightly lower than the original, with a 25% accuracy decrease for 5 turns. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily sound like a huge amount, that difference of 7%, but it means that the 32% is basically, think about it, like 33 and a third percent is 1 in every 3 attacks that will miss, but 25% means 1 in every 4 attacks that will miss. So you've got a higher chance, quite a significantly higher chance, I would say, that he's going to land, or that you're going to land those hits. Plus he's also of the rogue class, so he's got a chance to dodge, 30% chance to dodge offensive special skills. and then he gives the nearby allies the chance to dodge as well. So I do like that. I also like the fact that he's got an increased attack stat himself. So even though the boost is slightly lower, it does work hand in hand with his increase in the attack. So yeah, I do like this hero. I think I would like to have the costume just because I use him all the time. And I think that he will be an excellent Titan hero, as he always has been, and just pretty fun to play around with. Maybe one day we'll get a costume where the attack is reduced to like 125% with a 0% chance to miss. That would be amazing. But for now, again, this is what we've got. So yeah, I mean, I think that's all of the heroes covered, to be fair. Let's just go out and back in one last time and we'll have a quick look. So, Scarlet, meh, probably like middle of the road. Would I level her up? Not unless you've already got her. Chao, again, probably not unless you've already got him, but he is the right type of hero now as a hit 3. Tiburtus' costume is a huge letdown, unfortunately. Melendor is probably the pick of the bunch. I would say his costume really does make sense. I know a lot of people were saying he should have had the boosted health, like Regard. But while I do kind of agree, I think it probably would have been overpowered alongside the attack buff that he's got, that 50%. And WuKong, yeah, potentially a pretty damn good hero. I wouldn't necessarily level him unless you use him quite a lot against Titans. But the change in the miss chance does make him a bit more viable. And then Little John, just for, not for this one, but for this costume, I would say he is probably going to be one of the better costumes as well. So that is pretty much that. So please do let me know what you guys think about these costumes in the comments. I'd be interested to hear if you feel like I'm missing anything with any of these heroes. And obviously, please do drop us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you enjoy the videos, it really does help. And I will see you guys all again in the next video. Bye for now.